Cool, welcome back to another video, guys. Today we are talking about Parasite. So this movie is hands down one of the best movies I've seen this whole year, and I'm not even joking. So this film is a South Korean film and it's directed by Bong Joon Ho. I hope that's how you say his name. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that, but I hope that's how you say his name. He did an incredible job in this movie. Absolutely incredible. He did an absolutely incredible job directing this movie, and of course for its screenplay as well. The screenplay in this movie is just incredible. And I guess the basic story or plot for this film is that there's this unemployed family who is not doing particularly well, but they sort of get work working for this pretty wealthy family. But as they start working there, working with this family, they start to uncover some really weird things in this household. And that's pretty much the plot of the movie. I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to spoil anything. But this movie was incredible. It really was incredible. I hadn't watched any of the trailers before going into this movie because I did want to just go in blind. I had heard that it was really good, so I did take a trip to the cinema to go check it out because I was just interested to find out what it was all about and what all the hype around it was about as well. And I really was not disappointed at all. Cinematography as well was just really great in this movie. Some really cool shots in this film, some really creative shots as well, which I really enjoyed. Production design as well was really great. Very stylized, but also really real and realistic. And I think that's just a huge compliment to the production design. It really made this world feel lived in, but also at the same time, it gave it that sort of creative story element that just helped with the film as well. So the film is obviously not in English, and I know for me personally, that is not an issue at all. I love watching foreign films just because I love the different style of them, and I love just how they are done differently sometimes to English films. And I really did not have a problem reading subtitles. I know for some people this may be an issue, but I really do encourage you just to check it out regardless of this. The music for this film was absolutely great. I love the music. The color grading was great. What else was great? The lighting. Everything about this movie was great. I'm not quite sure what the budget of this film was, but it did just feel like a really high quality and professionally made movie. And I really did enjoy every single moment of it. Another thing this movie does just incredibly well is just how it blends emotion and humor and tone, I guess you could even say. And for most movies, I don't think this would sort of work, but I found myself laughing in some moments of this movie, dreading certain moments of this movie, and just being joyful in certain moments of this movie, and then also just kind of being a bit heartbroken in moments of this movie as well. And there's a whole range of emotion there and different reaction that the filmmakers want you to have. And this movie gets it like nearly every single time, I think. And that, again, is another compliment on the filmmakers of this movie, because that is incredibly difficult to do in movies, from what I can imagine, and they did it so incredibly well. This film also lets you figure out stuff on your own, which again is another compliment to the filmmakers, because a lot of the time I feel like in movies this day we are sort of spoon-fed information to process, and it becomes a bit tedious at times. Gemini Man, for example, is the perfect example to use here, because they sort of feed you exposition throughout that whole movie. And in this movie, you are there to figure it out on your own. And what I loved about that is there was this like underlying theme of this movie. You sort of gradually pick up on it at times, and then sort of towards the end of the movie, you get it as well. And it's really great, and it makes the experience of this film that much more worth it. You know, I really left this film thinking about certain things regarding the movie, and I love that. I love sort of going home after a movie and just processing what I just saw, and sort of understanding it, and like thinking about how it made me feel as an audience member. And this movie like does that super well. Also, this movie is pretty funny. I won't lie. It does sort of gauge towards that more dark humor aspect. So there's a lot of like sort of jokes and moments in this movie that are sort of like dark, but they're funny. I do also think that's something difficult to do, so this movie does do it really well. And overall, I just had a really great experience watching this movie. It's funny, it's engaging, it's riveting from start to end, but at the same time, you left thinking about the world we live in. And I just really love that, and it does have this really powerful message, at least the way I interpreted it. Also, within the first, I would say 10 to 15 minutes max, I was completely engaged in this movie, and I almost forgot I was reading subtitles. That's how engaged I was in this movie, and that again is just incredible. I think so often like we don't like watching foreign films because we constantly having to like read subtitles or whatever, but This movie almost did not feel like a foreign film just because of how engaged I was in it. And I mean, obviously I was reading the subtitles, but the movie was so engaging and so just captivating that the subtitles did not bother me. And I was just completely immersed in the experience of watching this movie. And again, that is a huge compliment to the director and the filmmakers. I've probably said this like 10,000 times now in this video. But seriously, guys, this movie was really, really great. I'm so surprised that we got it here in South Africa in the cinema. And I do want you guys to take advantage of that. We don't often get foreign films here. We don't often get these smaller movies in cinemas here. I really recommend you to go watch it and support it. It's a brilliant movie. It really, really is, guys. I really hope it gets Oscar recognition this year because there's a lot of things I think it got right. It definitely should be nominated for screenplay, in my opinion. The screenplay in this movie was perfection. It was so, so good. And I honestly just love the movie so much. I definitely want to go watch it again because I do feel like I might even enjoy it more the second time watching it. But my initial experience of the movie was that it's absolutely great and you should go check it out. I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10 for this one. And yes, I know I'm trying to get like a custom sort of rating system for this channel down. I have not yet completed that. So we're going to just go from numbers up until 10 until I figure all that out. So I'm giving this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I might even push it a bit higher after the second viewing of this film. I absolutely loved it. I went in pretty blind. I'd not yet seen any of the trailers and I was just really engaged in this film. Really, really good movie. I highly recommend it. If you guys have seen Parasite, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. If you have not yet seen it, what is your favorite foreign film? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, please to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and press the bell icon to be notified every single time I post a new video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.